Hello, boys and girls. Greg from the Scary Spirits Podcast here to make you another cocktail. This week's cocktail is a shot. It's called the Body Bag. So we're going to take our shot glass. We're going to fill it halfway with Jägermeister herbal liqueur. Next, we top it off with cinnamon schnapps. I'm using Hot Damn, because why not? And there you have it, boys and girls, the Body Bag. Delicious. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the podcast. See ya.
Who among us doesn't love a bargain? Well, here at the Scary Spirits Podcast, we sure do. That's why on this week's episode, we're bringing you the movie Body Bags from 1993. It's three horror stories in one. And you even get John Carpenter as your master of ceremonies. What a deal. How lucky are you? Of the three stories, I'm not sure which one is my favorite, but I do know which one made Greg the most uncomfortable. Let's just say Mark Hamill, whose birthday is the reason for this pick, has a lot of eyeball gore to deal with. And I wouldn't exactly say he handles it like a trooper. Cheers.
Welcome to the Scary Spirits Podcast. Please be advised that the presenters may use adult language and/or discuss adult situations. This podcast is not intended for younger listeners or those that may be easily offended. So, if you're ready, let's go.
Hello, boys and girls. I'm Greg.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karen.
And welcome to the Scary Spirits Podcast. The podcast that combines the two very different but highly compatible worlds of scary films and alcoholic spirits.
What could possibly go wrong?
Indeed. How are you, Karen?
I'm doing great. How are you, Greg?
I am fantastic.
We're in for a long one, people.
Well,
someone pre-gamed. Just going to say it.
This one.
Let's see if they can tell who.
This one could take a long one because there's a lot in it, but we'll see. I'll try to keep my comments brief and to the point.
Okay, we'll see how that works out.
Was this film your choice, Karen?
It was.
And what film have you chosen for us this week?
I have chosen the 1993 made-for-TV movie.
Cable TV.
Body
Pay
Bags.
TV.
Yeah.
It's what you would call it now, boys and girls, pay TV. Any reason you chose that film, Karen?
Well, this podcast will come out on September 24th, and Mark Hamill, who is featured in a small part of this anthology, well, a third of it.
Yeah, a third. Probably, maybe more than a third. Well, no, it's about a third.
His birthday is September 25th, so we're doing it in honor of Mark Hamill.
But he has the finale.
Well, he's probably the biggest star, right?
I don't know. I could argue that.
There are lots of cameos in it.
Do we have a cocktail to enjoy while we watch this cinematic masterpiece from 1993?
We do.
And what would that be, Karen?
It's called the Body Bag Shot.
Oh, that sounds delicious. How
It
would
might
we
sa-
make that?
It might sound delicious, but it's not. Well,
I don't know.
it's all right. You just pick the amount of... It's Equal
There's
parts.
amounts.
No, it's equal parts cinnamon schnapps and Jägermeister. You can do whatever you want.
3/4 ounce and 3/4 ounce.
Yeah, but
So
I'm
it's
saying go crazy.
1.5 ounces. So it's one of those big shot glasses, boys and girls. What was it? Jägermeister and cinnamon schnapps?
Yeah, just equal parts.
I love both of those things. And just like Reese's, they're two great things that go good together, apparently.
Hey, your Jägermeister is in my cinnamon schnapps. No, your cinnamon schnapps is in my Jägermeister.
Should we give our friends and listeners time to make their own body bag shot?
Let's do that.
Hold on. And we're back.
Yes, we are.
All right, Karen, might you have a brief synopsis of this film for us
I do.
from 1993? You remember 1993, Karen?
I'm sure I do.
Oh, I do. That's the year my son was born.
Well, it's a good year for you in that sense.
Indeed. Go on, tell us a story from 1993.
This is all I could find. So, Body Bags is a 1993 American horror comedy anthology television film featuring 3 unconnected stories with bookend segments featuring John Carpenter, Tom Arnold, and Tobe Hooper as deranged morgue attendees. It was directed by Carpenter and Hooper, and it says with Larry Sulkis handling the bookend segments. It first aired on August 8th, 1993. It is notable for its numerous celebrity cameo appearances.
That's a long synopsis, Karen.
It doesn't really tell you anything, but any other synopsis went into what each anthology was about, and I thought that was a little much.
Well, I found 2. Would you like to
Okay,
hear them?
I
Very
would.
short synopsi. Filmmaker John Carpenter introduces a trio of terror tales: Unleaded, Hair, and Tobe Cooper's Baseball Man. That's 1.
That's a good one.
Here's the second. 3 short stories in the horror genre. The first about a serial killer, the second about a hair transplant gone wrong, the third about a baseball player. I like that one better, but
You do? I like the first one because it mentions John Carpenter. But
I
choose whatever
suppose.
you want. It's reasonable. Any of them are reasonable.
I like your John Carpenter comment though there. I like that. It's like you're on my team.
Well, don't let that slip out in the interview.
All right. Tell us, Karen, everything you really enjoyed about this film from 1993. I believe it's a horror anthology.
Made for TV, I think we've mentioned multiple times.
Pay TV.
I think
It
from
is
what I
rated
can,
R.
I could see why. I think it's made for TV. I think it was supposed to be a series, was my feeling from it. And I would have watched
Like
it.
a
Crypt, what was it? Crypt Keep, what was that?
but this might have been a pilot for a series.
Yeah,
Of
where
like-
he would host
Yeah. Tales from the Dark Side and
Tales from the Crypt or whatever. Like he would
Fantastic
host different
Stories or whatever. Like,
3
whatever. There were
anthologies
several
on Saturday
that were out
nights or
there,
something.
yeah,
That's what it
back in the
feels
day.
like. I think it was.
Steven Spielberg had Fantastic Stories. I think that was his.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there were lots of them back in the day.
It's like the Love Boat, but for horror fans. Where a bunch of celebrities come on and have stories. I didn't hate it. I'd never heard of it. I
You
just
picked it.
Well, I picked it because Mark Hamill's in it, because I wanted to celebrate his birthday. So I
And
don't
spoiler
know.
alert, I think he is fantastic. But go on.
Well, and you get to see his butt and a little more.
Oh.
I liked the format, even though the stories aren't connected, which is something I didn't like, which I'll mention in a minute. But I liked that it was short. Like each little story was 30 minutes. It made it very easy to watch, I thought. And I think it would be a cool thing, especially for young horror directors, to get a chance to do something like this. Like throw a 30-minute story up with John Carpenter as the host. I think that would be a really cool thing. I know that's
Okay.
not what happened here, but I think it would be a neat thing to do. I liked that the stories were very different. I think my favorite, well, I like the second two better than the first. There's a story about a guy who gets a hair transplant. I like that it was a guy that was insecure about his appearance rather than a woman, because it's usually a woman. We've watched Wasp Woman. We've watched all these things where all the women will want to go through these transformations just because. And it was interesting that a guy was put in that position. And this was 1993. So I thought that was cool. Special effects were pretty good, especially in the third one. I was thinking of you. There's a lot of eyeball stuff in there, which makes it a little graphic, I would say. I liked it. I don't know if it was supposed to be campy. Some of the acting was a little rough, but they were simple stories and complete stories in 30 minutes. There weren't a ton of characters. It was just nice, concise. Here's 30 minutes of horror, a tiny break. Here's 30 minutes of horror, and the third time. And I liked it. I liked the format. I was in graduate school at this time, so I wasn't watching Tales from the Crypt or anything. So this format isn't as familiar to me as I'm sure it is to a lot of other people. So I don't know. I can't compare this to those others and talk about whether this was as good or worse or whatever. I have no reference for that. So I'll just say I really liked the format. And the music was good. Had you heard of this? Did you know this was out there?
Um, I yes, I know I have seen it.
Oh, you have seen it.
Or I've not seen it. Seen
That it
I've
was there
it
at the
was
Blockbuster.
it was a thing.
Okay.
Because I've been on John Carpenter's website and this is
Oh, okay.
obviously listed on his website, and I kind of ignored it because it was TV, right?
Okay.
And
Fair enough.
I'm sad I did that. So I'll tell you that going in.
So what did you really like about it? What did you agree with me on?
Like the very first thing I wrote is it's funny. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I'm just gonna tell you that. It's funny. It's got good acting. Effects are good. The writing is excellent. So I think sometimes writers or authors or whatever, if you're writing a screenplay, writing a novel, writing a novella, writing a short story, Stephen King. So right now there's a film out, The Long Walk by Stephen King, even though it's written by Richard Bachman, his pseudonym, that I read like 30 years ago. So I think, like Stephen King, most of the films I've seen by Stephen King that are good are short stories. They're not novels. They're not
Well, novels are hard because you have to pick and
like
choose.
we're going to do
Oh,
Salem's Lot, I am sure,
at some point, yes.
which is a long video production. You're right. It's a mini series, just like The Stand, which is fantastic, and It, which has its fans, and other Stephen King like miniseries. And my favorite is The Perfect Storm or Storm of the Century, whatever it is. That's my favorite. But they're kind of long. So I think when you give someone boundaries or someone gives themselves boundaries, it ends up being better story.
You mean when it's a short story versus a novel,
Yes.
but
And
not a movie versus a.
well, if they're doing it to film, that's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, novel's hard to put on film and even in 2 hours, right? Because you're going to leave stuff out.
Yeah. So I read The Long Walk, Richard Bachman novella or whatever it is, like 30 years ago. And I thought it was fantastic. And they're just now putting it to film. And one of my minions went and saw it yesterday, Karen. And we all asked him, hey, what'd you think of the film? And I don't think he got it. So there's that.
Okay.
But
Okay. So what else did you like? Anything else about the film?
I did. So shorter is better, which is I just tried to explain. And I like the eyeballs a lot because that affects me. And I think this is a cool venue for other directors. Like you said, like if we had more anthology things like this, there are a lot of them out there that you didn't probably know about, but there's VHS and which are all like kind of short stories like this filmed and kind of put together like
But were they done by different directors or
yes,
writer?
all
Yeah,
of them
okay.
were in
Okay. So it's
this
not like the
particular
same
case.
people were trying
No.
to. Okay.
So there is stuff out there, and I agree that music is good.
Did you notice a change between the two that were directed by Carpenter and the last one directed by Tobe?
Yes, I think the
I th
Toby Hooper one might be better, actually. But I enjoy the Carpenter ones. They're shorter, I think, even though it doesn't look like that when you look at it on the timeline of
I
how
think they're
long each one
more
takes.
tension filled, the Carpenter ones, and the
I
Hooper,
think they're
right?
more to the point. The Hooper one takes longer, I think.
But he's more graphic in some way. I don't know, like finesse, graphic with finesse, like more detailed graphic, I think. And I think the two with Carpenter had a little more tension in them.
I enjoy the Carpenter ones better. I think because there's more jump scares and it's more comedic. So you get the scare and then you get the, you know, comedic
Yeah, he does put comic relief in them.
comic relief, yes.
Yeah.
But Toby
And there
Hooper one
wasn't
is
a lot
very
of that
good.
in the third one.
No, there
That was
wasn't.
very serious
But it's
one.
good, starring your birthday boy, Mark Hamill. That's all I wrote, Karen. Anything you did not enjoy?
I was a little disappointed. We've watched other movies that are kind of like this, and you mentioned it, I think even last week. It is kind of cool when they somehow weave them together slightly. And I get why they didn't do it. And it's fine each one on their own, but it would have been kind of cool. Besides the all the victims end up in the morgue. That's the only way they're connected.
Well,
But
we don't even see them all, though.
the eyeball one, I mean, the story was kind of it's been done where you get a body part from a killer and take on the killer's characteristics. I wouldn't say it's overdone, but it's certainly not unique. I thought the hair one was probably the most unique. I wasn't overjoyed with the twist at the end, but I was the most amused by that one for sure. I don't think there's really a lot I didn't like. There's nothing spectacular because they are so short. I would say the effects in the eye were the best. But again, it's because they're working with your eyeball, and that is always a little queasy, you know. But I don't really have a lot. Do you have anything you didn't like?
So a lot of things I wrote are based on the platform you watch it on, I think.
Meaning,
So it's available multiple places to watch.
oh, so I did watch it on YouTube.
I watched it on Daily Motion.
Oh, I didn't have commercials on YouTube.
I started to watch it on Amazon, but there were commercials. I'm like, oh, hell no. And then I went to Daily Motion, and it took me 2 days to watch it. So the first day I went to Daily Motion and I started immediately, and there were no commercials for like the hour I watched that day. And then I went back the next day
They put them all at the end.
and I watched the last half hour, and the commercials were obsessive. So I don't know if they were getting me back because I was too quick on the draw the first time. I don't know, Karen. But I wrote the audio isn't great on the Daily Motion one I watched.
I can't. I
It's very
when
uneven.
when I watch it on YouTube or something, though, I can't tell. For all I know, they recorded it off the TV or
I
something,
know. I know.
So it's hard to. If I had watched it on Amazon as the streaming thing, I would comment, but
No, I know. That's ticky tack. And I fully admit that. And the ads, I'm pissed off about the ads because I didn't have any the first day I watched it, but second day I watched it, the last half hour, it took me like 45 fucking minutes. So I'm pissed off about that. So, and they were all the same fucking ad over and over
oh
and over and over again. I agree with you about the anthology. Like it's not Trick or Treat.
no, well, no, it's not even near that.
There are no like cut scenes which tie into each other or anything. I but it's fine. I mean,
Well, I get why they do it. It doesn't
John
have.
Carpenter tied it all together as the
Right. The
coroner, or
host.
you
Yeah.
think the coroner.
Right.
Spoilers, boys and girls, if you haven't seen it, but and he provides a good amount of comic relief. So I wasn't really mad about that. And I guess that's all I have, Karen.
Overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was.
Oh, I was
I'm glad I watched it. I'd never really heard of it. So,
Karen, I'm glad you picked this because it thoroughly enjoyed me. I probably would not have watched it otherwise. I knew of it from looking at John Carpenter's website and whatnot, but I thought, well, it's a TV movie. It's not going to be any good. But no, I was pleasantly surprised by the whole thing.
I would enjoy them bringing back the format again. Like I said, I'm sure there were many. I didn't watch them. So I'd seen maybe the crypt thing once or twice, but I just didn't. But now that I'm older, and that's something from our kind of our younger years, we would probably watch it, you
I just
know?
said that this was the year my son was born, Karen.
But I'm saying we
And
would
he's
watch it now.
he's
Don't
old.
say, but I would watch it now on a Saturday night, or I would record it and
Yeah, I
watch it
probably
another
would too.
time. So they should bring that stuff back a little bit.
All right, Karen, what kind of cocktail rating you want to give this film from 1993?
I don't think it's a strong three.
I agree. It's a strong three. It's not quite a two, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, except for the fucking ads.
Well, that's your fault for not finding one without ads.
All right, Karen, would you like to hear a review from the Times?
Let's see what they have to say. From the Time or the Times? Is it from the Times, the New York Times?
No, it's from the Times. From the Time.
Oh, I thought you were doing a pun.
Oh, that would have been so wicked clever. The review I have is from Variety, but first I have to tell you this has a 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb, a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's almost the same as last week's. So does that mean it's 87% this week?
Is that your final answer, Karen, for Google users?
Sure.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ah,
On the
yes.
nose.
It's almost exactly as another one we did. So that's why I guessed it. I almost went 88, but I'm like, no, go down one.
Review I have is from Variety, from a writer named Tony Scott. And I'm just going to sight read this because I haven't read it before. Showtime, already airing its half-hour weekly programs under the umbrella title Fallen Angels, again tackles the short story concept with three brief dramas a la HBO's Tales from the Crypt, aimed at chilling viewers. Scary moments are scattered throughout the teleplays by Billy Brown and Dan Angel, but the writing is pedestrian, Karen.
No.
John Carpenter, appearing as a blatantly coarse coroner in the wraparounds, summons up plenty of grisly spirit in directing The Gas Station, filmed on a lonely stretch in Pear Blossom, California. It's not where that's where it's filmed, but that's where it's set. Alex Datcher is on duty by herself at an all-night station while an unidentified killer is ranging about. The story's holes are big enough to accommodate a truck, but Datcher gives the story an edge, and an old hand Carpenter keeps the jump factor high. I disagree. I thought that was pretty good. Shifting to another style, Carpenter's second outing, Hair, in which Stacy Keach gives a first-rate performance. At one juncture, he offers a masterfully spontaneous guffaw, is about a man possessed about going bald. Instead of an out for a shock one act, the drama goes in for cumulative horror. After Keach visits hair whiz David Warner, Keach's hair grows all right, but the cool Warner is not at all what he's supposed to be. More complex than the first two segs, I, directed tightly by Tobe Hooper, sets up Mark Hamill as a half-blind ball player who receives a new right eye. The transplanted eye is from a dead man whose personality begins to take over Hamill. Hardly a new idea. Twiggy plays Hamill's upset wife, while Roger Corman turns up as a doctor. Shit. I knew that guy from somewhere.
There you go.
None of the three playlets break new barriers, but the productions are good, the casting interesting. Gary Kibbe's camera work is superior, and Daniel A. Lamino's production designs are starkly appropriate. Ed Warshlicky's editing is terrific. So they always name all the people in that variety
In
shit.
variety, yeah.
There you go. I think you liked it.
It'd be pretty cool if they had one set, right? And they brought in groups of people, like a writer, director, whatever, and said, okay, here's what you got. Go away for a month and come back with something. And have three stories in the same set, whatever it was. But that's not what this is.
Nope. All right, Karen, before we get into it scene by scene, is next week's choice my
It
film?
is. Is it a Hammer film?
Actually, it is, Karen. It's a Hammer film called Let Me In from 2010,
Oh, so the remake of the one we watched.
which is a British remake of Let the Right One In, which we've already seen.
That was a good one. I
So
liked that one.
it was very good. And I'll be interested to see how this one compares and contrasts, Karen. So have your two columns ready.
Well, my decrepit mind won't remember details from the first one. So you can have two columns. I will probably have one. Do you have a drink to go with it?
I do, Karen. As we
What's that?
do, the cocktail I have is called the blood sample cocktail. So we're going to need 2 ounces of, it says Blanco tequila, but tequila is fine.
Ooh, that's a lot of tequila. Okay.
2 ounces of blood orange juice and 2 ounces of pomegranate juice. In a cocktail shaker, we're going to combine all of the ingredients, and then we're going to add ice, shake to combine for 10 seconds, and then we're going to use a funnel to transfer into vials or a shot glass if it's large enough.
That's 6 ounces. How is that going to be
Whatever,
multiple
you do
shot
you.
glasses?
Yeah.
6 ounces is like there's 8 ounces in a cup. So,
I have vials I can use, so I'll be fine.
well, I do not.
Karen, you're a doctor. You don't have vials and beakers and
Not that I can use for
Bunsen
drinking.
burners.
In the lab downstairs, we use them for other things, Greg.
Intriguing. So that'll be next week.
Do you have a rack to put your test tubes in?
I do not. I won't need a rack. I'll just pour it in there and shoot it. It'll be good.
Okay.
Much like this week's drink, I have another prepared for whenever you say, shoot
Oh,
it.
I've been sipping mine.
Oh, I've already done one. I'm on my preparing for my second. All right, Karen, are you ready to get into this TV movie scene by scene?
Yes, as I mentioned, I watched it on YouTube.
I watched it on Daily Motion. And the first day I had no ads. The last half hour
Okay.
I had lots of ads.
So go to YouTube.
But it was free. But it was free on Amazon Prime too, and there were ads in that, which is why I went to Daily Motion originally. It's from 1993, like we've said, rated R, Karen. Flashing lights, sexuality, horror, violence. Flashing lights and strobing patterns might affect photosensitive viewers. And that's what I got from Amazon,
Okay.
their rating. Movie starts and we have credits. And then we see a morgue, a very nice morgue, I would say, with pillars and whatnot. It's a very nice morgue. We have the coroner there having dinner at the morgue, and he drinks formaldehyde. He begins looking at bodies, and they're all died of natural causes. He's upset.
Yes, he's not happy about that.
But then he finds a body in a body bag found on a highway. So that's intriguing. And
He
then we
finds that
cut
one
to
interesting. Yeah.
cut to a gas station in Haddonfield, Illinois, Karen, which is what the words say. You know what's special about Haddonfield, Illinois?
That where Halloween took place.
Yes, it is, Karen. Ding, 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 ding.
I'm on fire today.
Look at you. John Carpenter's giving us a little Easter egg there.
So before we go any further, just for anyone who would like to know, in the United States, the apparent first documented bag for the purpose of transporting bodies was patented under the name Improvement in Receptacles for Dead Bodies. The patent was filed during the Civil War by Dr. Thomas Holmes. The purpose of the bag, as stated in the patent application from July 21st, 1863, was to facilitate the carrying of badly wounded dead bodies hurriedly away that could not otherwise be quickly removed for the want of proper conveyances or difficulty to procure boxes or coffins for removing the dead, as the boxes or coffins cannot be easily transported or handled on the field of battle, which makes sense.
And we see two girls in a car and we hear news reports of a serial killer. Apparently,
Right in the area. Yes.
Yes. Apparently, Anne's roommate is dropping her off for her new job at a gas station in an overnight hut. That's what I call it the whole time, a hut. It's like the photo hut or whatever.
It's a little bigger. There
She
are
goes in.
cigarette sales.
She goes in. Bill, the guy who's working there, shows her around the station. And he leaves his number in case she has any problems.
So she's obviously worked at other gas stations because he's like, you just say the
She
pump
seems
number.
ready.
Like she knows what to do. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't spend a lot of time
No.
orienting her. She's just like, okay, this is just exactly like the other gas station I worked at. He leaves his number and skedaddles.
Anne watches as he leaves. And right here I wrote, Anne is kind of creepy. So right here I was thinking, shit, is Anne the serial killer? That's what I was thinking.
One important thing he does say that we should mention is there are keys that are all important in the story, and the door locks by itself, and you need a key to get back into the hut. So you need to take a key if you go outside the hut.
A man arrives and buys cigarettes, and I'm like, is that Wes Craven? I'm like, oh yeah, it is. He buys the cigarettes and leaves.
That's
But
a
he acts
cameo.
kind of creepy.
He does. He kind of asks her on a date. Everyone flirts with this girl
Did you get that a lot at the United Dairy Farmers, Karen, making
late
malts?
at night. I did have a lady come in and yell at me and threaten me when her husband took too long buying milk. Because you're there by yourself. It was scary. She came back behind the counter and told me she had a knife in her pants pocket.
That's
It wasn't
awesome.
funny then. It's funny now, but it was not funny then. So I'm like, I'm going to die over some dude that I did barely talk to him. He just looked around in the store before he bought the milk, and she was on fire and thought that I had
Yeah, I
talked
bet
to him.
he sat in his fucking car for like
No,
hours.
no, no. She was out in the car waiting
Well,
for
I
him.
know, and I'm sure that's what I'm saying. He has sat in their car for hours waiting for her to come back from the fucking store.
Oh,
But I'm sure she sent him in for one thing, and he took like 2 minutes too long.
she knew exactly how long down to the second it takes to buy milk. I'll tell you that.
All right. So then David Naughton arrives at the gas station to get gas, who I know from American Werewolf in London, right?
Yeah, he's the handsome guy.
He swipes his, or she takes his credit
Wait,
card.
no swiping was involved.
Well,
Tell him about the old-fashioned machine.
she swipes his credit card in a 1980s device I wrote because
Yes.
I used that back in the day myself.
They used to go, "Kunk."
Ka-chunk, ka-chunk.
Yeah. But so she is annoyed by the first guy because he's drunk and looks a little disheveled. But this guy shows up and she's happy to talk to him.
Yeah.
She's also doing her homework.
He makes small talk with Anne. He tells her about a bar she should check out because he learns that, she's a college student. And she seems kind of smitten with him, and he just like drives off without his credit card.
Yeah, the credit card machine, you laid the credit card down. There were these papers that were basically carbon copies,
Yeah.
and you ran a sort of a weight over it so that the numbers were all carbon copied onto the paper, which is amazing because then that gas station attendant has your credit card number, your name, when it expires, all the information they need. But you didn't buy
If
things
they
over the
want it,
phone.
yeah.
But you didn't buy things over the phone then. That's the thing. Now that would be crazy. No one would ever think
Yeah,
of
it's
doing
true.
that. But in this
But you
time,
still need the security code on the back, and that wouldn't be on the thing. The
anyway, so
CSV or whatever it is.
she notices that she kind of waves at him, and I'm like, she's holding his credit card.
Like up to her face. She's like
Yeah,
rubbing her chin with it, like,
as
ooh,
he's pulling out, and
he's
then
kind of handsome.
yeah, and then she runs out the door. But what did she forget, Greg? Because she ran out the door
Yeah, she forgets to
after
give
him.
him his credit card. He drives away. She leaves the gas station hut, but the door is locked. And she does not have the key, Karen.
She does not have the key.
So she's locked out. So then we see someone behind her. Apparently it's a vagrant. And I recognized him too. So I'm just gonna say I recognize so many people in this movie. He asked for the key to the restroom. And right here I wrote, gas is 134.9, Karen. 134.9. She finds an open garage door at the main gas station, the shop, and she looks for keys.
Yeah, she's
And
trying to pretend that she doesn't want the homeless guy to know she's locked out.
no. She knocks
But
over, we see her knock over a picture of the employee of the month, a guy wearing a shirt that says Bill, but it ain't the same Bill we just saw.
no, it's not.
So she goes back to the hut and gives the guy the bathroom key because she finds
She
the key.
finds the key. Yeah, she gets into the hut, gives him the. So there's. Do they still have these where they put something in and push it and the drawer opens so the person,
Oh,
you stay in
yes.
the hut and the person
Yeah, they have that at
buying
Kroger,
whatever.
Karen.
Okay, so you're in the hut, you're protected,
If
you
you go
put
to
things
buy
in and slide it out.
whatever cigarettes at the hut at the Kroger, you used to do the same thing. So the next thing I wrote is apparently everyone has a convertible in Haddonfield
Yes, they
because
do.
the next guy pulls up in another convertible and he wants the key to the bathroom and
He's drunk.
but he's not a vagrant.
No, he and
She
his
asks him to check
girlfriend are
on the
drunk.
guy who was in there already. So then we see the girl he's with filling the gas tank, but of course she don't know how to start the gas pump, Karen.
No, I just don't know. I'm just a
Did
girl.
you know how to fill your gas tank in 1993?
I'm sure I did.
Guy comes out of the bathroom and says the vagrant is in there sleeping on the floor. She helps the girl fill the gas tank or
Yeah,
whatever.
so she has to come out of the hut again, but she does remember the key
She
that
does
time.
remember the key.
Hello, boys and girls. Karen and I hope you are enjoying the podcast. You know what I think can make your listening experience even better? A delicious themed adult beverage. You can find all our drink recipes on our website, scaryspirits.com, in the recipe den. Tune in every Wednesday and join us for a drink. Now, back to the show.
Anne goes to look in the bathroom. She checks on the vagrant. He is nowhere to be found. But there is, I wrote, a satanic picture drawing on the wall, a demon slitting everyone's throats.
Yeah, that was weird.
So
But
she
it freaks
goes,
her out, of course.
yeah, she goes back to her little hut, and then she sees a truck in the main garage going up and down on the lift.
Yeah, so it's like a repair garage,
Yes.
right? Like, and there's cars in there waiting to be repaired, or there's a truck on the hydraulic lift and it's going up and down.
She tries to call Bill, but the line is busy. Then she grabs a heavy wrench and goes to check in the garage because that's what you do, Karen.
Don't stay in the hut. Go
No.
check it out with a wrench.
Grab a heavy instrument and go look. And she steps on an air hose, and that's a pretty good startle scare, I wrote.
Yeah, it was good.
Not realistic, but it was good. She sees someone in the cab of the truck. It's the vagrant with his throat slit. He gone, I wrote. And we see someone with a machete inside the gas station and tries to call Bill again. The man
Yeah,
in the
she gets
gas
back to the
station.
hut, right?
Yeah.
calls.
Man in the gas station picks up the phone inside the gas station. It's Bill. I wrote fake Bill, apparently.
Yeah, it's pretend Bill.
So he heads towards the gas station hut with a machete and a sledgehammer
Yeah, he's going to get into the hut.
and calls 911. Fake Bill takes the sledgehammer and starts busting through the window of the hut. That's a serious window, Karen. It's like it must be like windshield glass or something. We see Anne looking for a weapon or something? Question mark I wrote
She's
because
trying
she's
to,
just
well,
like
she's trying to find anything that she can
anything.
defend herself with.
She's
Yeah.
looking through lockers, employee lockers, and she opens a locker and finds dead Bill. He like comes falling out, which is Sam Raimi, the Evil Dead
I
guy.
thought, so when I thought he was coming towards her, I thought, I wonder if he has his own key, like he made an extra key, but no, he uses the sledgehammer to get in.
So then Bill hammers his way into the bathroom and hits him in the face with a garbage can? Question mark I wrote.
Or I thought it was the paper towel holder, but either way,
Whatever.
it's
He don't
something
look
metal.
so good, I wrote.
He
Is he
falls
got
on the
a
ground.
broken nose? Could it have
Yeah.
like gone up into his brain? I don't know. So then Anne leaves the hut. Fake Bill comes out and grabs her, but he collapses. Anne runs across the gas station. Fake Bill gets up and goes after her. Anne gets in the truck on the lift. She tries to drive away, but Fake Bill turns on the lift and he raises it so she can't drive away. Just then, David Naughton arrives and fights with Fake Bill.
Yeah, because he realizes he left his credit card. So he came back to get it.
Fake Bill falls under the lift and Anne puts the truck down, crushing him.
She's
And
gotten
then,
out of the truck by then
yes.
and come out so that she can flip the switch and crush him.
And then David Naughton says to her, I forgot my credit card.
Yeah, like nothing happened.
And it ends. That's pretty good. I like that. So then we cut back to the coroner, John Carpenter. And I thought he was really good in this as an actor.
He was okay.
He's cheesy, but I
He's
think
cheesy.
he's trying to be.
But I think it's made that way, yes.
Yeah.
Playing to his strengths, right?
And I wrote comic relief, and he's looking through the bodies and the causes of death. We see a naked woman, and then
Yeah,
he finds a body bag with a Ziploc bag full of meat in it, and that's all there is.
Yeah, he tries to pull, he talks about he's looking in the body bags and then he starts pulling out the drawers and he tries to pull one out of the drawers out and it's a woman and she can't come out because her boobs are too big. And he says these drawers were built before breast implants became popular. And then he opens two others and sees that their heads are switched. They're both decapitated, so he moves the heads to the right drawers. And then he pulls out one that's just a Ziploc, like a gallon bag, and it's a whole human body because he jumped off a high rise and then was dragged by a train. And then we cut to a man lighting
Well,
a candle.
It's what's left of a human body.
What's left, yeah.
Then we cut to the hair story. And I wrote Stacy Keach. And we see a hair growth commercial with David Warner, who, of course, we all know from The Omen, boys and girls. He was the photographer in The Omen. Right, Karen?
He gets to keep his head this time.
He does. Oh, you're awesome, Karen. Stacy Keach answers the door. It's Sheena Easton, Karen.
I know. But it's Brent and
I called him by their real
Oh, you
names for a
okay?
while until I realized what their names were. So
He's got a date. He's choosing a bottle of wine, lighting candles. Somebody's at the door. He lets her in. But after he's watched this commercial about the hair replacement, he played in the bathroom a little bit and messed around with his hair. And she comes in and she said, "What did you do to your hair?" And he starts talking about his insecurities. And she's like, I don't care. You know, she says she doesn't care about his hair. She likes him, the whole gig.
he lets her in. They have dinner. She asks what he did to his hair. She tries to reassure him. They argue about his hair.
Because he wants to put on a toupee. She says it's ridiculous. Then she says, maybe my hairdresser can help you.
I don't know if this is consciously or not, but she is done very well with hiding her accent. I think, in this. But maybe, she's already done that in her professional life. She doesn't sound really Irish or whatever, but yeah. So then we see Stacy Keach combing his hair over. He's doing a comb over there. And he tries on a toupee, and Sheena Easton says it looks ridiculous. So then I wrote, we see Richard. So now I know what his name is. So then we see Richard, Stacy Keach, at the hairdresser. Hairdresser wants to cut Richard's hair, and he is hesitant.
He's going to shape it. He basically says, I can't do much for you. You know, it is what it is. It's genetics, usually.
So then he leaves the hairdresser, and we see him looking at people with long hair as a song about hair plays,
Yeah,
including Greg Nicotero as with a very long-haired dog walking.
Which is it's a Saluki. Nope, darn it, it's not a Saluki. I always get it confused. It is a Afghan hound. They use those often in commercials, and people will come up beside it in a convertible and think it's a woman. It's an Afghan hound. So anyone who is interested, the Afghan hound is an ancient, athletic, and regal sight hound known for its long, fine coat and independent, dignified nature. It originates from the mountainous regions of Afghanistan. They're built for speed and agility on rough terrain. While loyal and affectionate with their families, they can be aloof with strangers, require significant grooming to maintain their distinctive coat, which is gorgeous, and are best suited for experienced owners who can provide consistent training in secure environments due to their high prey drive. They're not listed as very intelligent on the scale we usually go to, but there was a special note in there I thought was interesting. It's not that they're not smart, it's that they're very stubborn, and they're a very you're not the boss of me dog. So they decide whether they want to do it or not. And a lot of times they're like, yeah, not feeling it today. Not going to do it.
Then Richard arrives home with a lot of hair products, and he listens to a special tape for hair.
He's trying to make his hair grow, and he does spray something on it. So do you remember?
Well, first he rubs in product and massages his scalp. And right here I wrote, it looks like Stacy Keach has had implants. Period. I mean, it looks.
Does it?
It does.
Well, that's interesting. So
I've known someone who's had those, and I know what they look like at that time.
Yeah, my chemistry professor had them. All right. So would you be surprised to hear that 600,000 to 700,000 men a year worldwide undergo hair transplant procedures? The hair restoration industry is expanding.
I mean, if women had that like normal hair loss like men do, they would have just as many, if not more.
They do.
So
trust me, their hair falls out. They just use the same products, but
no, but not like men do.
No, they don't do transplants. A lot of women lose their hair when they're older. They just are less concerned because men start to lose their hair a lot earlier. Some do. Some lose their hair very early. Women's, it's usually when you're in your late 50s. By then, you're just like, fuck it. I don't care. But the hair restoration industry is expanding rapidly with figures like projected market value of $32 billion by 2026. According to the International Society for Hair Restoration Surgery, 1 in 13 men will have a hair transplant during their lifetime. It says 87.3% of patients are men. So there's, 13% women doing it.
And I wrote, there's nice camera work here with the mirror. There's like mirror play. He's like looking in a handheld mirror and there's a mirror, whatever. It's pretty neat. Sheena Easton arrives again because I don't know her name yet. And she wants to know who painted his head because he is sprayed like that.
Yes, do you remember what it was called?
I don't know. It was on like infomercials with his name?
His name was Ron Popeil.
Yeah, Ron Popeil.
Great looking hair formula number 9. It was referred to as spray on hair or hair in a can. It was actually aerosol powder applied to the scalp and thinning hair to create the appearance of thicker, fuller hair and
Yeah,
hide bald
it's
spot.
paint. That's what it is.
No, it's not paint, it's
Well, I know.
powder.
Well, it's powder, but
It would stick to any hair that you had and make it look better. But it was temporary. It would wash out with soap and water.
yeah.
But
As soon
he
as you
was
wash your hair, it was
one of
done.
the first infomercial kings. Like he was Ron Popeil, was
Yeah.
known for his extensive 30-minute infomercials that dominated late night television in the 80s. With his common tactic,
I
call
mean,
now.
he did it all, Karen. He did like food dehydrators. He
I
did
tell you what, I
pocket fisherman. He did it
those
all.
infomercials used to be on at like 2 a.m. And if you were up watching them, I swear to God, I was like, maybe I could use a food dehydrator.
I
I
was
was
like, ooh, I like camping. I could just put that in my backpack and go.
you're like, walk away, walk away. Because I'm like, I am never going to use a food dehydrator. But man, I don't know what they did, but I felt like I wanted that thing by the end. I was completely suckered by it. I always wanted a Shark vacuum because you only used to be able to buy
Well,
Shark
we have a
vacuums.
shark vacuums.
But you only used to be able to get them
It
on
was a
those
gift. It was a
infomercials.
gift, Karen. So then she kisses his head and she has a mouth turned black. So then I've learned her name. It's Megan. She leaves.
Yes.
She can't deal with him because he's like
Well, they kind of get in a fight
obsessive.
because he doesn't. He's being a little crazy about it. She's saying it doesn't matter, but he doesn't believe her.
Well, we find out later, boys and girls. So then we see Richard watching infomercials. David Warner again talking about the Roswell hair growth procedure.
Yes, which should be your first
And
clue,
that's
right?
clever. That's
It
clever.
is. It is clever.
And his name is Dr. Locke, which is also clever.
I don't know about that. What's that?
Oh, locks of hair. It's
Oh,
Dr. Locke.
gotcha. Okay. I thought it had something to do with Roswell.
No. So Richard goes to see David Warner, Dr. Locke, and oh, Deborah Harry is his nurse.
She's very friendly.
Dr. Locke, so this is where I learned his name is Dr. Locke. And I'm like, ooh, that's clever. Explains the treatment and asks him if he is sure he wants hair. Are you sure? Are you ready for the responsibility to have wonderful locks of hair?
I said, boy, that nurse is wearing a sexy nurse outfit. But they say they revive dead hair follicles by applying a protein-based solution to the hair roots beneath the scalp. So Richard asks, well, what's the protein? And Dr. Locke is, it's patented. We can't discuss it.
But Victor Locke shows him options for his hair. And I wrote, Deborah Harry is funny. Richard picks the stallion look,
Yes.
which is basically a Fabio of the time, right?
They went from, what did they call the traditional Republican military style so there was one was just the traditional Republican, which was shorter, then the military style that was taken by police and soldiers. And then they kept going through and they finally got to the stallion. So there was a range that you could pick. And of course, he went to the furthest one, the stallion.
It's very long hair.
Yes.
They do the surgery and he goes home with a bandage on his head. He's supposed to take it off the next morning. Then we cut to Richard in bed, I guess next morning. And I wrote his,
But wouldn't you have woken up early and peeked? Like, would you have slept all night?
he doesn't because his bandage is expanded. It's fire. So you
Yeah.
know there's something under there. And then he prays to have hair, Karen.
Yes.
If he has hair, he has everything. he
Yes.
says.
Everything he's ever wanted.
He removes the bandages, and then a huge lock of hair falls out. He very excitedly removes the bandages, and he has very long hair, and he is very happy. Knock at the door. Megan goes to see him, and she is very happy as well, apparently, Karen.
It doesn't even look that great, but it's kind of funny.
They kissy face, and then they kissy face some more, Karen. That's all I wrote.
Incredible, she says.
Next morning, Richard has a sore throat. And there's, right here I made a note, there's lots of groovy jazz music playing throughout this whole thing. but right here I made a note of it. Richard gargles with mouthwash
Well,
and
she
he,
left to go to aerobics class because she's in a classic aerobics uniform, which was funny.
yeah, just like the commercial she was in for the gym she promoted back in
I don't remember that, but
late 80s. He notices his hair has grown some more. He goes to his hairdresser. Hairdresser cuts his hair and the hair begins to crawl away, I wrote.
but nobody notices that. But
No, no one notices it, but we see it because
it
I think
looks
it's
like
kind of
little
cool.
worms
Yeah.
crawling
Richard
away.
has a cough, I wrote.
But
And
even
then,
his hairdresser is like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" And all the women in the salon are talking about him, looking at him. Can you believe it?
oh,
Look
he's
at his
new. He's
hair.
new here.
Yeah.
Dr. Locke, he's new. So then Megan calls him. Apparently, they're supposed to have a date, but he cancels their date because he is sick. He checks his throat in the mirror, and I wrote, "There's hair growing in his mouth?" Question
Yeah,
mark.
in his throat, it looked like.
He goes to call the doctor? Question mark. He collapses in bed, and then we see hair poking out through the veins in his neck. We get a close-up shot of some shit like that. Megan calls, probably the next day. Richard has hair growing out of his face. He looks like a fucking werewolf. He don't look so good. Hair keeps on growing, face
His
and
eyebrows are
eyebrows,
all long.
in his mouth. He cuts the hair in his mouth and it screams. And it's a tiny little snake, Karen. He drives to see Dr. Locke. Doctor cuts Richard's arm open and little tiny snakes come out. He says, "You earthlings and your vanity." David Warner's fantastic. Dr. Locke has little snakes inside him too. And we learn that they are aliens who need to feed on human brains.
Yes, it's the only thing they can eat is human brains. Luckily, he said humans are vain, so they come in and they have plenty of food.
And then we see Deborah Harry begins pulling strands of his hair and putting them in a bowl.
There are also a couple of little worms. I think they're in the doctor's eyeball.
Yeah, he takes them out. That's what I said.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Then we cut back to John Carpenter as the coroner. We see two more bare breasts, Karen. And he pours a cocktail with an eyeball in it.
He's out of formaldehyde, so he drank all the formaldehyde earlier. So he's going to have a drink with an eyeball in it.
And this is when I started watching the last 30 minutes and I wrote, "Ads are killing me." And it's the eyeball of a baseball player, Mark Hamill. He's on a Giants minor league team. I think it's the Bisons,
Yeah.
but the Giants have their eye on him, Karen.
Yes, they do.
He calls his wife Twiggy. Remember Twiggy, Karen?
Vaguely. I didn't realize that was her. And because I just, his wife is familiar,
Yeah,
but she looked a
Twiggy.
lot older than him. But I
She
don't
was a little
know.
older. She looked a little older, but it's Twiggy.
Well, now, yes, but at the time I didn't recognize her.
I remember Twiggy.
I
I would have
remember
known her
her.
in 1993. And apparently she's pregnant. I gathered from the clues we're getting.
Yes.
So then we see Mark Hamill driving home. It's a stormy night.
He calls her on a payphone because they want to go sell. He had a great game. He got two
He
base
did.
hits and a home run or something. And
He drove in the
his
winning run, whatever. Yeah.
his
He's in the
teammates are
minor league
like,
team.
let's go, out and celebrate. And he's like, no, I want to celebrate with my wife. And they kind of make fun of him, but he calls her on a payphone, she's like, ooh, come home. I have a surprise for you. He's like, yay. And then it's raining and he's driving home.
Driving home, he fumbles for a cassette tape to put into the radio, Karen.
Yes, he can't quite reach it. So he unbuckles
He does
to reach
undoes
it.
his seatbelt, and then he swerves to avoid a deer and runs into a pole. And right here, I think that's a Charger. Was he driving a Charger? I don't
I
know.
don't know, but was this before or after his accident?
This was after.
Okay, because I was wondering if it was sort of reliving his.
This was after. Other people arrive. They help him, and
They go to get him out of the car, and
he has a shard of glass in his eye. And I wrote, "He don't look so good."
it's sticking right out of his eyeball. That was the first grossness.
He wakes up in a hospital with an eye patch.
And they have to break it to him.
Ad. I wrote four of the same ads.
Okay,
Period.
Greg, let it go. Let
Auto
it go.
Trader. I've seen so many Auto Trader
Let
ads
it
today,
go.
Karen.
Just let it go and move on.
God. Doctor tells him he's lost an eye. He's very upset because his right eye is the eye he uses to see the ball as he's
Yes. And
batting.
we saw that in the beginning when there was a close up of him watching the ball.
Doctor arrives who specializes in transplanting eyes. It's never
Well,
been
no, he
done.
doesn't. So, well, back up. He does specialize in, he thinks he can
Should
do
I
it.
take my shot now, Karen?
Yes, please do. While I tell
For
you
half of it?
that a whole eye transplant involves replacing the entire eye with a donor eye. This procedure is still in the experimental stages and not widely available. And that's now. So this was 1993 that they were talking about this. The doctor says he believes it will work, but he says, but I'm the only one. But if it doesn't work, they'll just pop it back out and he'll be in the same place that he started.
Yeah, that's what I wrote. He's got nothing to lose. Really? Go ahead on.
So you have to remove the recipient's eye, place the donor eye, connect the blood vessels and optic nerve, and suture the eyelids. It usually takes several months to recover from it, but it's very experimental. I don't think it's
Well,
been done very
he
often.
takes like a day.
Yeah, I know. He heals like a superhero.
So he has a fresh eye, although it's brown, and his other eye is blue, but we got contacts. It'll be fine.
Yeah, they said, yeah, we'll match your eyeballs.
He says something about it's God's will. He talks to Twiggy.
Yeah, they're very religious.
She
You know,
agrees to try it.
she's wearing a
Cross.
cross and
Still doesn't tell him that she is pregnant yet, though.
no, he has blurry eyes and he does have headaches.
And then we have like a biblical scripture she tells him to read.
Well, there was, okay, so while the surgery was happening, there was a priest reading from the Bible, and then, oh, I don't have anything else. That's what I have. And then they go home to the suburbs. And I say he seems perfectly fine after major surgery.
Well, I wrote, I don't like eye stuff. Right here. So doctor tells Twiggy in the operating waiting room that surgery was a success, put an eye patch on Mark Hamill and removes the bandages from his operated eye. His vision should only be blurry for a couple days, and I wrote he can see because he can tell. He tells Twiggy how he likes her
Her
hair
hair, yeah.
like that, tied back like that. See Mark Hamill watching a baseball game from his room. Twiggy brings him flowers. He has a headache. Doctor says they will go away soon.
He gets a little rough that it should be him playing baseball, but because there's like, I don't know how else to describe him, but we get like flashes.
Well, I
Some,
wrote, he grabs Twiggy's hair. He ain't right. That's what I wrote.
yeah. So
Doctor
it's
gives
starting
him,
already before he even leaves the hospital
yeah.
room.
Doctor gives him a contact lens so his eyes match. He's going to send him home the next day. Surgery won't heal for 6 weeks. Everyone seems happy. Twiggy brings him home. She takes him to the nursery and reveals that she is pregnant.
To the extra bedroom, yes, that's been converted to a nursery.
And we see a book called Dr. Spock's Baby and Child Care. And then, Karen, we have ads.
No, we don't. Keep going.
More Auto Trader ads. So then Mark Hamill fantasizes about the baby being born on opening day, and he wins the game for the Major League Club, the Giants in this case.
Yes.
And then Mark wants to kissy face. I wrote, Twiggy is hesitant. She is not in the mood.
She's not in the sexy mood.
He thinks because he does not have the blue contact lens in.
Which would be a little weird, I would guess.
He
So,
puts it in, and then he goes to close the shutters. And as he's looking out the window, a body comes out of the ground in the backyard in the area where he's apparently been digging a flower bed or some shit.
He's been doing thirsty work out there,
Oh, yeah,
Greg.
as you do. He gets a headache. Twiggy helps him back to bed. I think I say that later. We'll see. Next day, he goes out to the backyard where landscaping is being done, question mark.
Well, is he's rude to her?
He's rude the whole rest of the fucking movie.
Well, I know, but she's got to go to work. She makes him breakfast. Is that where that is?
Yeah.
Or am I?
He goes in to have breakfast. Twiggy leaves to go to work. He is irritable, and she leaves when her ride arrives. So Mark does not eat his breakfast. I wrote, what is wrong with him?
Yeah.
I would eat those fucking eggs and bacon and
Bacon?
whatever. What the hell? He puts it in the disposal and he sees a hand in there.
Yeah, coming out of the disposal.
And I wrote right here,
Bloody.
Mark working in the backyard. Lots of thirsty work.
Yeah, yes, he finds 2 feet there.
He's plotting out a flower bed, question mark. He digs into the ground and finds a body, question mark.
Yeah, it's vague and frenetic, flashy kind of thing.
He turns back into the house. And I wrote, I think he might be hallucinating. The view from the window changes. He begins to read the Bible.
Yes. He's pacing upstairs and reading the Bible.
Twiggy arrives at home. Mark shows her the nursery. He's been working on the crib. And then he has visions of a woman in the nursery, smoking a Marlboro and having a cocktail.
Yes.
And she burns him with the Marlboro. Right in the
Yes.
eye, Karen.
Right in the eyeball. Lots of eyeball stuff.
So he tries to get a hold of the doctor.
She does. Because he,
Oh, yeah. Twiggy tries to get her a hold of the doctor. Mark Hamill tries to kissy face with Twiggy, and she
well,
doesn't
he says
seem into it.
he's
She
feeling
relents.
better and says, we'll just call the doctor tomorrow and then they're going to have sexy time.
Ads. Next thing I have. He has visions of her dead body and having sex with her, although she's not quite dead.
No, and you see Mark Hamill's butt. And
Twiggy screams and
he
says
bit her,
that he
yeah.
bit her. Yeah,
Yeah.
bit her. Mark tells her he sees things. Then Mark prays, I guess.
Yeah, again, he's pacing back and forth with the Bible. But she leaves and goes downstairs.
Twiggy hears him and goes up to investigate. She begs him to go see the doctor. She says she will drive him, but he drives himself.
And he
He
goes
can-
back to the hospital.
He confronts his doctor. He wants to know where his eye came from. The doctor, who is Richard Corman, confesses that it came from a man who was executed in a gas chamber. John Randall is his name. Mark Hamill gets in his Toyota Camry and drives away.
And where does he go?
He goes to the library, question mark, I wrote.
I guess
I
it was
know.
a weird looking library,
And
but
he's doing searches for John Randall because that's what you had to do at the library in 1993.
the microfiche.
Yes. John Randall was a serial killer of young women, buried all of his victims, and they were stabbed with garden shears, and they had each been sexually molested.
After
And
death.
all
Yeah.
of those victims, as well as his mother, had blonde hair.
And his childhood was marked by physical abuse at the hands of his alcoholic mother.
And he refers to himself as the devil. Twiggy comes home and yells for Brent. Yeah, I'm calling him Brent now. Mark Hamill. He is out in the backyard working. And I wrote, he appears to be digging a grave, a very shallow grave, but a grave nonetheless. And then he just like snaps and hits her with the shovel and runs
he
in
says-
and tackles her.
He says, I can't come in to talk to you right now. I have to finish digging your grave.
Yes, he does.
And she tries to run and he goes after her, tackles her, lots of screaming. And then John Randall, he keeps saying, John Randall, John Randall.
And he ties her to the dinner table. Does he tie her with her hair?
I think so.
That's what I think too. He keeps screaming John Randall's name. He says John would have liked her.
And she keeps saying, read the Bible, read the Bible.
And right here I wrote, Mark Hamill is pretty good in this, and Twiggy is as well. This is very good acting, I thought. She tells him that John Randall is in the Bible. And then I wrote, the Bible they have is John Randall's question mark.
I
Like
didn't.
his name is in the
I
front of
thought
it
she
or
was
some
trying to
shit.
say his name. Brent was in the Bible to see on his page. I couldn't figure this part out, but
So then we see lights of eyeballs, and Mark Hamill stabs himself in the eye with the garden shears.
he does read the Bible, and then he realizes what he has to do,
He
which is
does.
get.
We have words to read, and it says, "If thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee."
For it is
As
profitable
you
for
do,
thee
Karen.
that one of thy
Well,
members should
that wasn't
perish,
in the film,
and
Karen.
not that thy
You're
whole
reading the
body should be
actual
cast into
scripture.
hell. It's Matthew 5:29-30 in the King James Version. But yes, we
Oh,
get
that
the
wasn't in the
I
movie.
quote.
I guess
But I'm
not.
guessing he
Okay.
died because he probably pissed himself. Those were long garden shears.
Yeah, he's dead. Cut to the
Well, we see
corner,
that in a minute. Yeah.
and we hear a joke about umpires, which is funny.
Yeah, because he says he can't be a baseball player because he's missing an eye, or he can't see, so now he can be an umpire or something.
So then some people start to come in, and John Carpenter takes off his medical robes, and we see he has a body wound, and he climbs into a body bag, and he has a toe tag, Karen. So he's dead.
Yes. The ultimate twist there at the end.
Credits the end.
Well, the two that come in, one is what's his name? Tom Arnold,
Oh,
and the other one is the director, Tobe
Tobe Hooper.
Hooper. And they start cutting him up, and in between doing the
He
autopsy,
mine cut, so I didn't see any of this.
John Carpenter watch it. Like when they're not looking, he lifts his head. When they turn to him, he lays back down. But
Oh, see,
yeah.
I didn't see any of that.
And then they say, wow, your guts are in terrible shape. It looks like you've been drinking formaldehyde.
Yeah, so I didn't see any of that. I'm sorry. Sorry I didn't. I'm sad
There you
now.
go. The end.
I might watch it again.
So I'll take that as a win that you liked it.
Yeah, I did like it. I'm glad you picked it. Thank you, Karen.
I'm a giver.
All right, what'd you think of the body bag shot? I still have half of mine left.
Well, take care of that. I like it. I think I might have used a little more cinnamon than Jaeger because it's got a strong cinnamon front taste, and then the licorice kind of goes on the
No,
back
I don't
end.
think you did. It's just the way it works.
And I like it. I actually am one of the few people in the world that like black licorice, so I like that taste.
I don't mind doing shots of Jaeger. It's not my favorite flavor, but it is what it is. But I like this. I get the cinnamon immediately. Well, I'm using hot damn. So that may change things, but I think it's just the way it hits your palate.
I bet some
You get
people
the
would
cinnamon
think
first.
it tastes a little like cough syrup, depending, but I think
No, I don't think so.
I would put it on ice and sip it. Like, I don't mind sipping it.
I don't either, Karen.
I wouldn't do a lot. I don't think I would want a whole glass of it, but a chilled shot glass with this in it would be really good.
I agree. Anything we learned today, Karen?
I thought I did pretty well for just a
Well,
small amount of.
you got 3 short films that
We learned about body bags. We learned about eye transplants, Matthew 5:29-30, the Bible verse, hair transplant facts, and we reminisce about Ron Popeil and the Afghan hound,
Yep.
probably.
And the hairspray too.
Yeah, Ron Popeil, the powder.
All right. Anyone you need to thank this week, Karen?
Well, we need to thank our listener. You know why? Because there are a lot of podcasts, and we're really happy you spend time with us. What about you, Greg? Who do you need to thank?
Karen, I'm going to once again thank the band Verse 13, providing all the music in the Scary Spirits podcast.
Music definitely makes the podcast better.
Anything else, Karen?
Please drink responsibly.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to the Scary Spirits podcast, where the movies might be iffy, but the drinks are always solid. We would love to hear from you. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Scary Spirits Podcast, or go to our website, scaryspirits.com. And if you want the direct line, email us at info@scaryspirits.com. If you really want to help us out, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. And remember, always drink responsibly. See you next week.